Roslyn Uttleymoore and I'm the Pooh Fairy, and I'd like to welcome you to my colonic room. I've been working as a colon hydrotherapist now for 13 years at Aloha Mana in Buderim, Queensland, and I want to share with you what actually happens here in my little room. I set up my equipment once it's been through the autoclave sterilizer, and I think that's a major point when you're having colon hydrotherapy, that your equipment is sterilised and sterilised properly. So I've set it up for you so that you can actually see what I do. This system that I use is a gravity fed system, so it works without any pressure. It's also a closed system. Now there are a number of systems that you can use with colon hydrotherapy: an open system, a closed system and a pressurized system. So this is a closed system, meaning that when the catheter is in the rectum, everything that comes out is in the tube. So this is a closed system. Because colonic treatment is a very personal experience with someone, I'm not going to have anybody here to show you exactly what I do. So we're going to pretend. So you're just going to pretend you're my client today, and I'm just going to explain a little bit about what I do and how this treatment actually works. So simply, the water is held up here in the tank, and it's filtered down through a special water filter that works on hot water, because obviously the water is set at body temperature, so you need a special filter. Then the water comes down through the outlet tube and it runs through this little catheter here, and it works like a Venturi effect, if that means anything to you. It simply runs out through the pipe into the plumbing and out into the sewage. Starting off with the treatment, the client lays on the table, lays on their left side. I insert the catheter into their bottom, and that only takes a moment, and it's quite a gentle and painless procedure. Then they turn over on their back and they're covered with a sarong, so that they're comfortable and they feel private. Then all I'm doing is I turn the water on, and the water, as I explained, runs out. In order for the procedure to work and to function, this is the outlet tube, and I squeeze that outlet tube, and that allows the water, instead of flowing out, to flow in to the person's body, small amounts at a time. The catheter is sitting in the rectum area of the body, and the water is being filtered through into the sigmoid. And what I do, and not every therapist works this way, but this is the way I like to work, and my clients are very happy for me to do this. I massage their abdomen throughout the treatment, and I use some lovely essential oils at the same time. And we get a nice rhythm going on in their colon, because your colon's a big muscle. So we're massaging that and allowing the water to be filtered up through the colon to go all the way around to the cecum. And that's as far as the water can go, because you have an ileocecal valve sitting there which doesn't allow the water to go any further. The beauty of a gravity-fed system, and this is why I chose this particular system to work with, is that it's really gentle. Some of the pressurized systems and other systems can be a little bit more intense. The gravity-fed system is that I can control exactly the amount of water that goes into the person's body, and that can be different depending on whether they've used their bowels or not, whether they're really constipated or not, or whether they can just quite happily take as much water as is necessary to affect the treatment. So that's why I love the gravity-fed system, because of that really personalised effect that I can get for each of my beautiful clients. One of the other benefits of a gravity-fed system is that we have a glass viewing piece here, and I can actually see exactly what's coming away from the person's body. And this is a great indication of how their whole elimination system is working and their digestive system's working. And they can also see what's coming away through the tube here as well. The length of a treatment, or the time spent on the table here at Aloha Mana, varies, because I add a special touch to my treatments, And a lot of people come purely to have a coffee enema with me. And the Rolls Royce of the treatment that I can give people is that I can actually clear their lower part of their colon or their sigmoid with the colonic first. And then I introduce the coffee enema to that treatment. And then they have the comfort of being here. I can release the tube so that if they feel that there's any pressure, it's not like, quick, get to the toilet and get rid of this. If you've had enemas, you know that that can happen. But here we have the luxury of having the outlet tubes to use as well. So if you're just having a straight colonic, probably 20 minutes to an hour is a good time to have a treatment. But for me, I like to give the person a colonic, clear the colon, and then introduce the coffee enemas, and that is a Rolls Royce treatment. I love my work here at Aloha Mana doing colon hydrotherapy, and why wouldn't I? I've got this beautiful room. My clients are very relaxed here and they get to look out on this beautiful garden that we have, tropical garden here in Queensland, and they're totally private. And it's a very personal experience for both myself and my client. I've done thousands of these treatments, and it never ceases to amaze me how much I learn through each client and the gifts that they give me each time they come. I hope that answers some of your questions about what happens when people come for a colonic treatment. Because you know what? Colonics really do an enormous benefit in your body. It clears out a lot of that muck and gunk and congestion, and it gives people a really vital and uplifting feeling and a sense of well-being when they leave. So come along and have one for yourself and find out just how good you can feel with colon hydrotherapy.